wish you a Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I got the words right.
You did.
Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Just Plain Living. I'm John Gray
Hi, I'm
with
Peggy.
the lovely Miss.
I'm Peggy Burton. I decided I didn't like my
You
decorations.
didn't like the. You was afraid a blackbird come pecking on your chest, wanting those berries.
Merry Christmas, John.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Look who's here all dressed up.
I'm the Jester, Lauren the Jester. I turned Jimmy Fuller into Jer Harris.
Boy, did I get the short end of the stick.
I'm Lauren Foster for real.
For real.
For real.
For real.
And this is Jer
That is-
Harris for real.
For real.
I'm not Jimmy Fuller.
For real.
For real.
Jerry Harris.
What?
You on your way to Shelbyville?
Video horses.
All right.
Video and horse.
Got to get the horses. It's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Got to get the horses.
What are they doing there? Do the horses do
Did they decorate the
something
horses
special?
a little bit?
Oh, you go over there. They're doing coats right now.
Oh, neat.
Breaking coats, training coats. Get ready.
Decorating coats. Does anybody over there have they ever had taken 8 horses and dressed them up, put reindeer stuff on them and pulled a sleigh?
To be
pulled a
Dasher and
wagon?
Dancer and dress them up like reindeer, you know?
Well, since we don't have a whole lot of snow, John,
Wagon. A wagon.
I would think they may have done a wagon, but I don't know about 8. They may have done 2 mules or 4 mules.
I've heard that Santa Claus parks his reindeer somewhere and gets the mule wagon and goes around in Tennessee sometimes.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right,
because
because a
how's
lot
it
of
going to
hills.
land on our
A
snow?
lot of hills and not
Exactly.
much snow.
Not
Exactly.
much snow, but a lot of hills,
But the
and
man
those
makes
reindeer
it.
have a little
Yeah.
bit of problem. Besides, we done found out the other day, I read on the internet where they're all female anyway.
That's
You're
right,
kidding me.
because male antlers fall off in the wintertime.
Even Rudolph.
That's
Yep.
right.
So all the reindeer are girls.
Rudolphino.
With a bunch of weird
Do you
names.
think that if Santa Claus has enough power to fly and make reindeer fly, he can't keep their antlers on?
No.
What's your problem with having female reindeer?
Nothing as long as they have antlers.
John, rule number 1, do not mess with Mother Nature.
See, there you go.
They say the antlers go, the antlers go.
That's right.
Period.
That's it.
And female
If you
reindeer
mess
are
with Mother
perfectly
Nature enough to fly a sleigh, I think you do pretty much what you want to do. You are Mother Nature.
Is that right?
I watched the movie Elf last
Oh,
week.
that's
Have
cool,
you seen
isn't
that
it?
with Will
I
Ferrell?
have, yeah.
I always skipped over because I'm not a Will Ferrell fan, but
I'm
it's
not
a
either.
really cute movie.
Is it?
And Santa's sleigh flies by the magic of the Christmas spirit.
That's sweet.
If there's no Christmas spirit, the
Then it
sleigh
doesn't fly.
can't fly.
So everybody has to
Well,
have
then
the
did you
spirit.
fly home Sunday?
She flies home a lot of times.
A lot of
Because you had some Christmas spirit in you.
I love Christmas parties.
Well, how many of y'all watched the Christmas Carol this year?
I haven't seen it yet, but I usually do.
You've missed it. I have watched it, I know, 7 or 8 times.
Because
Really?
it
George
keeps-
C. Scott, and then the older version. I've
Yeah,
seen
Yeah.
it.
There's
It
several
keeps
of them.
coming
do it.
on again.
Who's the one that does it? Kelsey Grammer does it now.
Oh, he
also,
does?
yeah.
I
Is that your
Kelsey
favorite
Grammer does
Christmas
it.
movie? I
Really
haven't seen
good
that one.
Scrooge,
I
yeah.
need to see it.
Yeah, it's good. He
And I
does
haven't
very
seen
good.
Miracle on 34th Street yet.
I haven't
Or
seen
Or
that
It's a
this
Wonderful Life.
Yes.
It's a Wonderful
You
Life.
have to watch those
year.
every
Hey,
year.
that's
It
a
certainly
good
is.
one.
It is a wonderful life.
Yeah. So,
always better for
Mr.
you
Harris,
than
we don't see you much on here, and we just wanted you to have an opportunity to tell all our
If I don't get a
fans
check for this special appearance, you won't see me again.
and your fans and,
And
everybody
Jimmy
out
just
there.
went out the door.
I don't. Has he gone to get a check, or is he
He's
just?
I
went-
doubt it.
cancel it, I
He
think.
probably gone to get a gun.
There you go.
I said, I'll fix it right now.
Right now.
You know the person in the seat gets tormented,
I
whatever
know.
I can think of to torment you.
Well, she done hit me in the head with these balls 4 or 5 times.
I love this hat. I'm
I
going to
do
miss
too.
Christmas.
They're so fuzzy.
I forgot how much we needed another comedian on this.
I seen the other day where Mike Thompson had that thing on.
Yeah,
Was he,
that hat
was he giving a
travels around.
special deal or something?
Yeah, that's
Is that why it's a little itchy?
that's a rental hat right there.
Sorry.
That's a
Sorry,
rental.
Mike.
That is a
Didn't
great
mean
hat.
it.
Yeah, it's a
love
great
that
hat.
hat.
It's a good hat.
You know, I would
Sure
like
is.
to see a lot of people buy a horse for Christmas.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
What are horses selling for? I mean,
Good ones,
yeah.
they're high.
I'm not talking about, say, winners.
There was one sold a couple of weeks ago that they priced it at 125, and the guy said, "I'll give you 100," and the man did the smart thing and took it.
And took it.
So
And that's not dollars.
Yes, that is dollars.
$100 or $100,000?
$100,000.
Well, that's what I said. That's
Well,
not
right.
dollars.
That's
That's
not
not
dollars. That's
$100,000.
Okay.
But we're
But that-
talking about
just a pleasure
show
horse.
horses, right? Or are we
Right,
talking
these are
about
show horses. But I'm on. If you want a good, like the walking horse is real popular in trail riding, obstacle course, versatility, especially the Extreme Cowboy. Now, the Extreme Cowboy was meant solely for the quarter horse, really. But here come the walking horse. Now, when they see her come in, Tracy Pinson, which rode tough, they say, man, this is going to get good because this horse is great. He won the amateur
Oh, wow.
World Grand Championship. But a horse of that caliber in the Extreme Cowboy competition, you're talking about upwards between $50,000 and $100,000.
$100,000?
A
I
real,
guess I won't get one for Christmas.
Am I the only one that doesn't know exactly what Extreme Cowboy is?
well, Extreme Cowboy
You've
is where
known
you've got
several of them.
Tell me.
it's horses that go through a lot of different obstacles, like it's endurance, it's racing, it's jumping, it's going through water holes, it's opening gates, it's you open the mailbox and go away. You take a tarp, twirl it around your head or whatever. And a lot of people, I had one guy ask me one time, he said, what's the big deal about the blue tarp? He said, that's nothing. I said, I tell you what you do. Get on that horse right there and we'll wave the tarp. And when we catch you, you can tell us what the blue tarp.
Then you're going to know.
Right.
That's to keep the horse from spooking.
Right.
If
Well,
you're
is
good-
an extreme horse always a show horse, or is it a work horse?
Well, it
Or both?
It's both.
Kind of
Sounds like a
Because you wanna
combination of the old
You want to go
barrel
trail
racing.
riding. A lot of people take their trail horses and they'll trail ride Saturday and go home and give them a bath, take them to the show that night.
on Sunday.
Oh,
So
I
it-
see. So it doubles as a lot.
Oh yeah.
But if a person, Jerry, if a person wants to go out and buy a nice trail riding horse, that's what they're going to use it for. A family pet, a friend to go trail riding with. What would kind of person expect to pay for a decent trail riding horse?
You know, when I say a decent trail riding horse, I'm talking about one that anybody can ride.
Yeah.
Because you don't want one
Calm
that'll
enough.
spook. You don't want
Right,
one that'll be
right.
skittish. But you'd be a good one. You're going to pay between $5,000 and $10,000 for a good one. Now you can get one less than that, but it's not going to be
A really good
a
horse.
really, really good one.
And does age make a lot of difference?
Well, not really. You'll
About
find
like
some.
size.
Yeah, you'll find some that's 2 and 3 year old that's just real laid back,
Docile.
easy to work
So-
with. Some of them are even stallions, or
Do you
very easy
do
to
you
work
ever
with.
train a horse? Have you ever trained a horse?
No, I've never trained one. I've ridden a bunch, but I've never
Right.
trained
I
one.
just wondered.
I went trail riding on a Tennessee walking horse last year, and they're awesome horses.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the difference. Reagan, my daughter, when she was 4, she got kicked in the eye by a mare. And she was out in the pasture and following around behind Sadie, grabbed her tail and let Sadie pull her around. Well, Sadie kicked her. And y'all know Reagan. Well, when I went out to the hospital, it scared me to death. Got out there and here's my 4-year-old daughter covered in blood, and she bolts up in bed and looks at me and says, "Why didn't you tell me a horse would kick me if I pulled his tail?" Like I'm supposed
Like
to
it's
know
your
she's going to go out there
Yeah,
and pull the
and
tail.
pull the tail on a horse.
But a couple of years ago, I wanted her to go trail riding. Of course, I got static all the way around because of her being kicked by a horse, but she really wanted to go. So I called a friend. He said, "I'll bring her one. That's fine." So when she got on the horse, her eyes were, believe me, they were that big around. And I said, "Are you okay?" She said, "Yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine." Well, this horse was perfect for her.
Was it Kim?
Well, yep, that's him. Before it was over with, she was cantering across the field,
Oh, neat.
having a ball. And I mean, that cantering is something that a lot of people never do.
Never
they
do,
just
yeah.
they just ride. But she found out. I mean, I don't know what she did, but all of a sudden, here they go. And I mean, I heard her laughing. I turned around and she said, "This is fun." And for that point on, she still don't want to get behind
So
one.
did Reagan,
Right.
does Reagan
That's
show?
smart.
Does she still ride?
Every now and then, not like she used to. She
Yeah.
stays busy all the time. Of course, now she's got Chase.
So it's a little different, yeah.
It's
a few more
It's a lot different.
responsibilities.
A lot different.
What's Chase?
Sometimes we got Chase. What about you?
Riding?
Yeah.
My grandfather trained walking horses many, many, many years
What
ago.
was his name?
John Lewis. This was way back in maybe the 40s, I don't know, but he trained walking horses and kept them in the barn there. And I was not a great rider. I rode horses, but I wouldn't say I was a great rider. I was a little bit timid and afraid.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you, it gets me.
Just a little, yeah.
Right now, they like the sport horse. They do bareback riding and all this, jump bareback. I mean, and to me, I would never try that, even though when I was a child, about 10 years old, I would ride a spotted horse. And this was way back. I was on 231 South, and right at the fence, I would wait. And when the cars would come up, I'd race across the pasture beside the road. Of course, I was on this side of the fence.
Right.
And that's the way I had my fun, and it was bareback.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't bounce now like I used to.
I used to ride
rode
a mule
bareback
a lot.
as a little girl.
Yeah.
I rode a bareback mule from
Boy,
my
that's
house
rough.
to my grandpa's. That was rough.
Did you ever ride a cow?
I climbed on the back of a cow one time.
I didn't ride a cow, no.
I tried to
There's
ride
a good reason
calf.
for that.
That's why I'm not in the rodeos.
I
today.
got kicked by my horse when I was a little girl too. So, but not in the eye. I wouldn't have had to go to the hospital except that I put lemon juice on it
Oh,
and went
no.
back on my horse and got a real
Well, I
bad
guess the
infection.
moral of this story, I would say the moral of this story is
Save your money if you're going to buy a
If you're
horse.
gonna-
save your money if you're going to buy a horse.
right.
Buy one for Christmas to make Jerry happy. You have one for sale, red dirt for sale.
I've got 2 or 3 for sale.
Jerry's got. Call Jerry Harris, buy a horse, make him happy, and make us happy.
I'll send them to Robert.
Tell him
I'll
Merry
send-
Christmas.
Merry Christmas to everybody. How's that?
You got to get to Shelbyville, don't you?
Got to get to Shelbyville and video some horses.
All right.
Fine,
So
you
we'll
did a
do
really
that.
good
Show it,
job.
maybe?
That's a
I
good
love
gift.
it.
Will we show that?
We always
one
showing
of these
horses.
Always.
There's horses everywhere, front, sides, and back sides.
If he ain't walking, you ain't got a horse.
Well, I just got one
You
thing to
got a
say.
horse.
You
Well, I
need to
tell
quit
you what,
horsing around.
we're going to walk right out of this segment right here, folks. You don't go away. It's Christmas time. We're going to have some fun today. We'll be right back shortly.
Why Traders Bank?
The convenience of 5 locations near you.
2695 Deckard Boulevard, Winchester. 1207 Hillsborough Boulevard, Manchester. 1602 North Main Street, Shelbyville. 412 West Lincoln Street, Tullahoma. 120 North Jackson Street, Tullahoma. Why Traders Bank?
The service of 61 friendly, knowledgeable employees meeting your banking needs.
We're Traders Bank in Winchester. Come see us. We're Traders Bank in Manchester. Come see us. We're Traders Bank in Shelbyville. Come see us. We're Traders Bank on West Lincoln Street in Tullahoma. Come see us. We're Traders Bank. Come see us.
Why Traders Bank?
The stability of 122 years, locally owned and operated, banking under the same name.
Traders Bank.
Why Traders Bank? Because you're welcome here.
Traders Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
These are the children who had no chance. They're known as Brazil's street kids. They wander the streets dying by the thousands from drugs, AIDS, and bullets. Most of them have been abandoned, left to survive on their own. These children needed a place to go. I had to do something. So I brought it up at Rotary. People heard about what we were doing and asked how they could help. Together, we raised funds to give them a home and open the school. They're learning a trade. Now hundreds of kids have a family and a future. They're contributing to the community because Rotary believes in making things better for everyone.
Rotary is making a difference right now.
They have hope.
Rotary gives people an opportunity to help.
All right, folks, welcome back. And, this is a Christmas show, Christmas week, and what we want to do is just make sure some of the folks that work with us, get to speak to you and tell you thank you and Merry Christmas because they see you all year long. And we have Tom Corrington up here with us right now, and Tom is the host of our Grassroots show, and election shows and different things we do throughout the year. And you can cut to that other shot just anytime you want to. There you go. There we are. And
they tell me your mic's not functioning properly, so we're going to let you hold this one here.
Well, greetings, folks. And we're happy to be with you this morning, and it's or afternoon, whichever it is. And we'll be delighted to talk with you a little bit about what's been going on in the last year or so, and some that we can expect in the following year also. So, Jim, what do you?
Well, I think probably the biggest thing that I recall this year that you and I did together, of course, was the election, because it was an election for mayor, because it was an extremely heated election. A lot of things happened there, and there were some twists here. If you recall, you would have had to thought that the incumbent mayor was the favorite to win going in, but there
looked to be a shoe-in right up close to the election, didn't it?
Exactly. But you remember some things happened in the last couple of weeks of that election, and why don't you recap that for us? There was probably twisted it around.
That's very true. I think the election did change in the last couple of weeks. We had one of our local councilmen, as a matter of fact, become directly involved in it, and he did some local advertising, and then managed to do. Even get a feature on one of the national channels, and somehow or other that backfired, and a lot of people think that the election actually changed within just the last couple of weeks of the season, and so we have, and that was probably the biggest single local event, and we have a new mayor in Lane Curley, and he's busily hopping away.
One thing though I have to say, and I'm sure you've observed this as well, but even though that was a really spirited race, and there was a lot of I guess somewhat controversy because of the fact of a sitting alderman getting involved in that, I'm very proud of all of them, because since then they've moved on. And they work together, and and for the good of the city, and that's kind of a thing of the past now. So you got to be proud of both of them for that.
Yeah, they do seem to be working together. And I thought it was interesting too, because I had never quite heard the mayoral race expressed in these terms. Lane made a very strong point of the fact that he wasn't really being elected just to be the head of city government. They had some professionals doing that on an everyday basis, and his real purpose was to be the mayor of Tullahoma, to get the whole city to pull together and work together, and he certainly approached his first few months in that fashion also.
Yeah, he's been very vigorous, I think, in trying to do just that in the last few months.
One of the other, I think, major events locally during the year was the fact that starting probably about 3 years ago, the then Mayor Troy Bisbee began to try to organize our economic activities in a more active fashion. We lost our Industrial Development Board several years ago when through a lot of pressure from the state, we consolidated ours with the county. And that seemed to give us to take away a voice, if you would, from us. So they began to try to figure out ways to overcome that. And in a 3-year effort, it wound up incorporating a new industrial development board. Although they're careful not to concentrate on manufacturing. Because that's the principal role of the county board, and we don't want to be in competition on anything. And so they are concentrating primarily on service industries and retail. And in that connection, we've had a couple of pretty good events this year. A couple of new businesses, that is. The Dunham Sporting operation has certainly been. Is a big store, major store, and that's going to be a regional drawback. So that will help us regain some regional status that we seem to be slipping from in recent years. It's been an exciting year from the standpoint of the state and the nation also. We've had a lot going on with the state and again trying to do economic development, trying to make jobs our number one priority, and the governor in that connection has sort of changed our emphasis. They have created the means and the support to concentrate this year on and to come maybe a couple of years on developing businesses that are already in Tennessee and setting up the conditions under which they can expand and grow and if necessary give them some financial support. And so that's an interesting development, and it'll be exciting to see what comes of that.
Well, Tom, one of the guests we have on the show later on today is Dan Markham, and Dan is here to talk about some of those things that the state is doing. And of course, he was one of a number of entrepreneurial type people and venture capital people who received the grant or the opportunity from the state of Tennessee to receive $20 million plus, and is working diligently on that right now. And that is a lot of people, you don't hear a whole lot about it because they're in the primer on it right now, but that is a huge economic impact on Tullahoma and what's going to be going on around here. And Dan will have some information to share today that is very, very, very exciting.
That's very true. He and his organization are one of the best kept secrets in town. I think you hear very little about them, and yet they have the terrific possibility of affecting our economic outlook. So, well, meanwhile, folks, I think we would be remiss if we didn't first thank you for staying with us down through the years. I think, if I remember correctly, this is somewhere like finishing our 13th season with Grassroots, John and Jimmy, and we want to thank all of you for staying with us during this period. And we look forward to the coming year. It's going to be very exciting, including elections at every level, from the president down to the dog catcher. So we'll try to keep you informed.
Well, Tom, we appreciate you and the research that you do and the hard work that you do to prepare yourself for the interviews that you do with some very crackpot type, local kind of, really sharpshooting folks and national and state sharpshooters, and they're all prepared when they come to visit with Tom because they know you will be. And we certainly do appreciate that and appreciate you very much, and your lovely wife Sue for sharing you with us, and keeping up with when the show runs, where I make sure it runs when it runs.
We need all the help we can get.
We certainly do.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back in just a moment, folks, with Dan Markham, I believe. Right, John?
Yeah.
All right, right after this.
I assume that's who's next.
And I'm Mike Thompson, and we own Thompson Ford in Tullahoma, Tennessee. Lori and I bought the dealership back. It's on Highway 55. Same dealership that we had for 10 years. Look forward to serving you for another 10. Thank you to the community. Thank you for allowing us to be here for the last 15 years. Thank you for having us raise our family here.
Thank you for all your support.
It's been a great place. It's a great place to live. Look forward to living here. Put me in the ground here. I'd be proud to do it. God bless America, and God bless Tennessee.
Our office used to look like this, but now with My Paper-Free Office from R.J. Young, it's easy. We've made all of our files electronic and stored them in our virtual filing cabinet, which gave us tons of space. And Bob here, a big promotion. Melissa can pull files in minutes and spends hours on Facebook. And Kyle's confidential files stay confidential.
We're not totally paper-free, right?
My Paper-Free Office from R.J. Young. It's that easy.
wherever good can overcome, that is where your contributions to the Salvation Army go.
Welcome back to Just Plain Living. I'm Lauren Foster, and I'm happy to introduce some awesome video that was taken by our producer Philip Scoggins and his darling little girls. It's the Lights of Christmas. We've got more great stuff coming up, but have a look at these great lights here on Just Plain Living.
Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Vixen and Blitzen and all his reindeer pulling on the reins. Bells are ringing, children singing, all is merry and bright. Hang your stockings and say your prayers, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight. Here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. He's got a bag that's filled with toys for boys and girls again. Hear those sleigh bells jingle and jangle, oh what a beautiful sight. So jump in bed and cover your head, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight. Santa Claus is getting close, coming down the lane. Reindeer on his sled, clouds above his head. Bells are ringing, children singing, everyone is merry and bright. Keep your loved ones close, Santa Claus will be here tonight. Shabba-da-doo-ba-dee-yoo, wee-ya-doo-dap, three-yoo-ba-doo-yoo, shoo-dap-doo-dap-da-day, wee-doo-ba-dee-yoo, shut-da-doo-dap-a-dwee-yoo-dap, wee-doo-ba-dee-yoo, ta-ta-doo-ba-doo-dap.
There's one place women of all ages can find the care they need, the Women's Center at Harton Regional Medical Center. We're a full-service women's center with comprehensive obstetrical and gynecological surgery. Our excellent customer satisfaction rate is a reflection of our commitment to excellence. To serve you even better, we've now remodeled our facility. Our family-friendly birth center features private labor, delivery, and recovery suites. For every stage of your life, we're there for you. The Women's Center at Harton Regional Medical Center.
Get Tullahoma's news first, fast, and free with Tullahoma's News Leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Jimmy and Jenny bring you local weather, sports, community calendar events, birth announcements, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Tullahoma's News, get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
When you see the sign, The Main Event, take a close look inside at a hair studio that offers services by some of the best master stylists in Middle Tennessee. These stylists offer a list of services that compete with large city salons, from trendy cuts for men, women, and children to the latest color techniques, including highlights and bold color accents. Other services offered include permanent hair weaving and relaxing to formal hairstyle for that special occasion. You can also give yourself a very special treat with a full makeover, including full body waxing. For your convenience, we are open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until the last client leaves happy. Call and make your appointment at 931-571-8682 or stop by our Tullahoma location at 207 North Jackson Street. Pamper yourself at The Main Event today.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are very pleased. I'm pleased about two things right now. Tom Corrington stuck around to help me interview our next guest, and our next guest is Dan Markham, ladies and gentlemen. And Dan is very special to us because he took this show and this company out of a bar and actually gave it a real home in a studio about 10 years ago. So we're always glad to see Dan come by. Dan, you've got some really exciting news about some other things that you're involved in, I think. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the first thing is I would wish everybody a Merry Christmas during a special holiday. Hope everyone has a prosperous New Year. But it is an exciting time. There's been a lot of talk through the years about entrepreneurism and growing homegrown companies. But now we're seeing the federal government, the state government, and local governments in alignment for the first time to make really something happen. And that's what we're here to talk about today.
Oh, okay. And you've got something that you're going to be doing right here at the Markham Business Center in Tullahoma, I think.
Well, it's actually going to be broader than that. The federal government made a grant to all the states. The state of Tennessee got $15 million, of which is going to be used in primarily two forms. One is to provide capital to seed and early stage companies, people who need equity money to start a business, and secondly is what they call regional accelerators. And there's 9 regions in the state, and each of those regions have been awarded a grant to bring about the advent of regional accelerators in those areas. And we put in an application, and we were the ones selected for this region.
And this is not your first go-around on this kind of thing, is it? You've done...
Well, we've been involved with economic development and helping invest in small businesses. As a matter of fact, we won a grant about a year and a half ago, and since then we have invested about $7.5 million of the state's money and raised an additional $17.5 million. So we've invested nominally $25 million in seed and early stage companies. A couple of those investments are right here in Tullahoma, but we've done that across the state.
Tom mentioned when he was on earlier that this is one of the best kept secrets around here, and I'm inclined to agree with him, because you have always been active in this kind of thing and trying to develop businesses and help people get started and that sort of thing. Even back as I made a joke of it a moment ago, but he did in fact take us out of a bar and bring this company.
Well,
to
when he set up this facility, yeah, it was one of his primary purposes was to help people who had ideas and get them started and offer them not only financial but physical assistance in getting themselves organized and getting an organization going, and then hopefully moving on and bring somebody else in. And that program sort of moderates over the years, but it's still going on, and that's what your accelerator you mentioned a little while ago, isn't it?
It's like a three-legged stool. To really accelerate and start businesses, you need capital. You need a place to educate and train and let folks get together and exchange ideas. And then thirdly, you need the entrepreneur that wants to do that. This accelerator program provides all three of those. And rather than having a long period of incubation, it's designed to bring people in and give them the equivalent of an MBA in a boot camp environment. So rather than spending 2 years getting a generic MBA about that might have a lot of people in the audience and any kind of business, this would be for your business and you. And so it's a very exciting, and it's a great time right now to be an entrepreneur in Tennessee. There's a fair amount of money to help companies get started.
Are we seeing some what kind of activity are we seeing so far?
This new regional accelerator bid was just announced. We haven't gotten actually the grant contract yet, but we should have it here in a few days. But the first year is actually started at the beginning of December and will end June 30th. And by that time, we're proposing to have 4 such sites across our region. One here, one in the old Saturn headquarters over in Spring Hill, one in the Sunquist Center in Fayetteville and Lincoln County, and one over in the Clifton campus site of Columbia State College over in Wayne County.
Very good.
And you've actually, this is going to happen pretty quick, right? I mean, I think you were talking about what's happening here in Tullahoma. You're really already planning that.
We're working with the city of Tullahoma. We're working with the county. I'm basically on the speaking circuit as we speak, going around to the 13 counties, making speeches to the Rotary clubs, the Kiwanis clubs, the civic clubs of those areas. But we will try to get open by February 15th is our goal, to open the one here in Tullahoma.
Right. And it will be in the Markham Business Center.
Right now, there's 2 sites that we're looking at. One is the building out on the UTSI campus, and the one right here next door to you guys. And we'll probably use both of those. One maybe to just do the training, and one to house the companies after they get started.
Well, there's also, Dan, worth mentioning, I think there's an element of research involved in this. Some talk of establishing a research park, perhaps in one of those locations, that could encourage people who are doing some basic research or maybe applied research.
That's a little bit further down the road. Right now, the goal is to know that if you're growing up, that you can start a business and get the support that you need locally. Right now those happen mostly in the metropolitan areas because our students go off to college, they attend Vanderbilt or UT, and there they get brought into the entrepreneurial community, and there they start their businesses. Part of the goal for this region, and this is certainly a rural region, is to bring that entrepreneurism back to the rural area. And so that's our real challenge. It's not going to be our program. It's going to be the community's program, and that's the challenge that we're facing for the next few weeks. Is really it no longer being a well-kept secret. It's now time for everyone to understand it and move forward.
And you've actually seen this work in some other places, I think.
Oh, it's working in a lot of places. There are national programs. If someone wants to go to the internet, they can look at Techstars or Y Combinator, and these are companies. We actually will pay up to $15,000 per entrepreneur and there'll be a competition to get to this program. In one sense, it's easier to get into Harvard than it is to get into the Y Combinator, because it does provide the connectivity for you to be successful.
But it's interesting that you said that it's like getting an MBA and specific to what you do, what you're trying to start a business with. I mean, how your business is going to work.
Yeah, specifically trained, focused to help you start a business and to grow that business.
Okay. Well,
and that business has a specific purpose. You're looking at trying to take ideas that are new or different at any rate and make them put them online.
Technology or service, either one.
All right.
Okay, well, you know, really exciting times for Dan, and I'm, you know, Dan and I are about the same age, so I'm, you know, apparently he's moving on. He's moving forward. He's making plans, so not slowing down at all. Dan, thanks so much for all you've done.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas to both of you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back in just a moment, folks. Right after these messages.
Citizens Tri-County Bank has the checking, loans, savings, and traditional banking services you want. Plus free internet banking and bill pay, Bank Your Change, Visa gift card, and lots more state-of-the-art banking services. We focus on the service and services you want. So you can bank when, where, and how you want. At our offices or from just about anywhere. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank you'll ever need.
The highest standard of trust offers a sense of safety and comfort. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of trust in healthcare. It's the Joint Commission Gold Seal of Approval. In 2003, Life Care Center of Tullahoma voluntarily achieved this accreditation and maintains it still today. Life Care, meeting a higher standard because residents matter most.
This is for my daddy and the chips. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming?
At Charter, we're connecting military families with free webcams and the fastest, most reliable internet speeds. Get your webcam at charter.com/canyousee.
I miss you, Daddy.
Welcome back to Just Plain Living. I am so impressed today that they gave me the mayor, Lane Curlee. Welcome.
Thank you.
I am so glad you're here.
Thank you. Pleased to be here.
I think there's so much going on in our city, I don't quite know where to start. You're a busy man. I think, and one of the things that we just talked about that impressed me so much is your trips into the schools. Do you do that how often?
Well, every Tuesday morning I visit a different elementary school, and my goal this school year is to visit all 75 elementary school classrooms, and I spend 15 to 30 minutes or so in each classroom. And I have no recollection when I was growing up in Tullahoma of who the mayor was or anything like that.
Nobody knew.
Right. And so, but I want to change that. And so I visit a different classroom or 2 or 3 classrooms every Tuesday morning.
And now you're visible to the children,
Sure.
and they know who. Do they ask you questions?
Oh, absolutely. They ask me some great questions. And
Do you remember any?
Oh, sure. They always ask how tall I am.
Yeah.
How much does the mayor make?
Oh, my
Is
goodness.
it fun being mayor? Does the president call you? And they also, which are good questions, of course, but they also ask about what's going on in the community. I found that they're really, by and large, quite well informed.
And their questions are very intelligent, I
Sure,
think.
of
A lot
course
of people
they are.
don't
Sure.
realize how intelligent
Sure.
these children are these days.
No
I think
question.
they've got a lot going on.
No question
and,
about it.
City government, you guys are busy down there with different things happening all the time.
We are. I mean, clearly what we're trying to do right now is grow the community.
And how's that working for you, as Dr. Phil would say?
Well, I mean, there's still a lot of work to do, but we're just trying to go on the offense now. I mean, we've been sort of laid back for several years, and we're really quite aggressive about it.
Getting a little more aggressive.
In terms of, really, we have 4 different priorities. One is working with the builders. We've just got to have more building in the community. And then second, working with tourism. We have a lot of opportunity there.
You know what?
With tourism.
There's a lot going on in this town that people don't realize.
Sure.
Being in the performing arts,
sure.
We'd like to be more visible
sure.
and work into the tourism idea.
And one thing actually I want to say, well, let me finish the other, and the other priority, 2 other priorities in terms of growing the community are working with the existing businesses. We have
exactly.
we have 755 businesses in Tullahoma,
I didn't realize
and they
that
employ
many.
thousands of people. So it's important that we have good relationships with our businesses. And then, of course, we want to attract new business to Tullahoma and encourage investment in our community.
And we encourage people to buy in our community.
Absolutely
I
right.
think we never should quit
Absolutely.
expressing how important it is to
sure.
support our local businesses.
Sure, that's exactly right.
And it helps our economy, it helps our people get jobs, and I think that's important.
Sure, it's all about jobs. We have approximately 850 people unemployed in Tullahoma.
850?
Right, and so we're doing everything we can, and some of those are entry-level jobs, some of those are engineering jobs,
sure.
some of those are managerial jobs. We've got it, but if we grow the community and bring companies to Tullahoma and support our existing companies,
then we have more jobs.
Then we have
to
more
offer.
jobs available. That's exactly right.
So it would be a dream to have every human being employable,
sure.
employed in
sure.
our region here.
Not only is it good for their families, which is obvious, but it's also really good for the community
exactly.
because they have, I mean, jobs build pride in
of
yourself
course.
and in your community. And
I mean, how depressing it is to not have a job.
Absolutely, and plus jobs bring discretionary income. It allows people to buy refrigerators and buy whatever,
and support the
family, support the local economy, sure. So it's all about jobs, and it's all about, and one of the strategies, of course, is buying local and working with business.
And it's important for people to keep that up. I know that you have something special to do with foster children, and you and Evelyn,
mm-hmm.
your wife, have done a lot. And how many foster children would you say you have helped this Christmas?
Well, there are approximately 105 foster children in Coffee County. We have more foster children per capita in Coffee County than
really?
almost any other county in the state.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty sad,
and
actually.
I wonder why that is.
Well, I think we just have a good
Well,
we have a good DCS program here locally, and they're always aware of what the needs are of the children.
And so we're pinpointing the
children that are neglectful, that have been neglected or abused. And so it's important, I think, that this is a year-round program. We try to have programs for the foster children all during the year and for their parents. But at Christmas time, we pay a special attention to the foster children, and we have angel trees all over the county.
I know. I think that's a wonderful program because there's a lot of people that want to help, and they simply don't know who to help.
Sure. And I think that's part of what leadership is all about. Lots and lots of people I've talked to over the years, they want to help out. They don't want to lead an effort, but they want to help out.
And you just have to tell them what to do.
Absolutely. And I've never mind being the leader. Some things work, some things don't work.
Well, you're doing a good job. And we're proud of you. We're proud of what you're doing, and the fact that you have heart and soul that you're willing to reach out and help so many people. So if someone wants to donate to that process, who do they call?
The foster child, the Angel Trees, that program is pretty much gone now this week. And so, but on Christmas Day, we will be serving meals to struggling families in Tullahoma.
Out at Damron's Restaurant.
Damron's Restaurant.
What time does it start?
On Sunday morning. So the volunteers can be there about 9:30. And then we'll start serving the meals about 11 o'clock. Are you looking for more
volunteers?
We always need volunteers.
Okay.
We never know how many are going to show up.
So if people show up at 9:30 with their hands washed, you'll give them a job.
Right.
Clean shirt on.
Right.
And then the serving starts about 11?
11, right. And we'll probably serve 400 or 500 meals.
How generous of the Damruns
absolutely.
to open on Christmas Day when so many other people have closed and not doing anything.
And
that's beautiful.
So nice in that direction, but they're also nice to provide the food at their cost as well. So
that's amazing.
Sure. And these are families that are unemployed, homeless, struggling families, and so no one should be lonely on Christmas.
That's what makes you feel good. That's the pure gift that we all should be giving.
Sure.
Thank you, Lane.
Sure, of course.
I'm so proud of you and all that you do.
Thank you.
We'll be back with some more Christmas stuff.
Serving you as a local firefighter. Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force. Serving serving Tullahoma.
Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
How can toys like these lead to a 6-year-old's death and leave another child permanently brain damaged? Because they're not toys at all. A safety message from your local fire department and this station.
Oh, there's my cat. Should I put her away?
Lighten it up a little bit.
How's this? Great.
Good. There we go.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors, and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Cove Lake, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Martin Weakley, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, Rugby in the Big South Fork, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And this is the holiday season, and this is the time for joy and fun and being around folks you like to be around and picking out a gift that you think might be special for someone. Well, my gift today is the fact that I have my friend Teddy Bart on the show with me to help me celebrate this season by offering you something that's really special, and that's an opportunity maybe to get a copy of his new book to give to one of your friends for a holiday present.
Well, what a great introduction.
Teddy Bart.
Happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays to you, my friend. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be back on your show. Always good to be back here in the studio. We spent some wonderful time with a show that I did for a while. And
sure.
Always come back and see good friends. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Well, what Teddy has done, folks, is this is your third book?
Yeah, third or fourth book.
Third or fourth book. And Teddy, before this book, has had other people involved in the promoting of this book. And Teddy chose to take that upon himself this time. And
yeah, well, there are a lot of authors in the Tullahoma area, and the whole, just like everything in the media is changing these days, so is the publishing business, the book writing business and the publishing business. And a lot of authors are wondering whether they should self-publish their books, John, instead of going to a regular publisher. And I looked over the horizon the best I could and decided to self-publish this latest book. There are a number of self-publishing companies that you pay them, and then they offer you editorial service and promotion service and all the things that a mainstream publisher would do. And I chose one, and the relationship has been wonderful. And so I have self-published this book. And the truth of the matter is that readers don't care who publishes. They just want a good book. So this is my latest book, Shadow Seduction. And it's available. The best way to get it, if you want to buy it for Christmas or the holidays, is to order through Amazon.com, because they have a quick delivery service. You can get it overnight.
Right.
And I'm pretty pleased with this book. It's another novel. It's a story I made up, but it's a little different. The previous book was called A Particle of God. And it was about a talk show host who thought he should be a big star. And he realized that just doing the work is what counts. This book, John, Shadow Seduction, is like a page out of today's headlines, because it seems like every day you pick up the paper or you watch television and somebody's gotten in trouble.
Right.
They've made a wrong choice. And all of us in life have done that. I've done that. Others have done that who aren't famous. You know, they aren't the, you know the names. I won't mention them.
Oh,
but
sure.
The people who have gotten famous for being infamous. And so I wondered, what is it in us that makes us sometimes make a choice that is not in our own best interest? And it's a choice that is humiliating, a choice that causes pain, and a choice you deeply regret. And I studied that and came up to a conclusion, and I wrote a story based around why decent people do shameful things. And that's what this book is about.
And you know, you see so much of that out there, and you think, well, if Britney Spears weren't Britney Spears, if she were just a regular gal at a karaoke bar doing something, would it be all over the television? No, it's not. It's part of the price, I think, that people pay for notoriety and fame, is the fact that their every move is going to be inspected by the news media, because the news media is 24/7 looking for something to report. You know, when you were a young man and I was a young man, the news was on, you know, maybe in the morning.
Maybe in the morning, probably 30 minutes in the evening, something like that. 6 and 10. That was about
6 and 10,
it.
and that was it.
Yeah.
And so a good news story lasted a couple of days.
Yeah.
Now by noon, what you hear at breakfast is old news by noon, and the news media is looking for something else.
Well, I'm fascinated by the question of why decent people do shameful things, and that really is the story of this book. This book is about an elderly man who was a businessman, but his inner life was that he always wanted to be an actor. But because of family obligations, because he really didn't want to take the chance you need to take, he repressed his inner life and went for the more comfortable life. But when things went bad for him, he really had nothing to fall back on. He didn't like his work. He had problems at home. And so he made some bad choices. I have formed the story of Shadow Seduction around somebody who made a bad choice and how they realized that we all do that. It's a part of all of us. I bet you everybody watching this program today has at one time in their life made a choice that they regret, a choice that has caused humiliation for them perhaps, or pain. They have suffered for that. And what makes us do that? There was a psychiatrist years ago by the name of Carl Jung.
Yes.
Dr. Carl Jung named this alter ego that he said we all have as the shadow. He says it's not the devil necessarily, although it can act like the devil.
Could be.
But it's a shadow. It's another aspect of our own personality.
Right.
So, you know, should I cheat on my income tax or shouldn't I cheat on my income tax? Should I drive through that red light or shouldn't I drive through that red light? Or more serious things than that. Should I do something that I know is wrong because... And then the shadow voice takes over. It says, well, you know, you deserve it. You've been working real hard. Nobody appreciates you. You've done so much for other people. And this shadow personality that we all have justifies our bad behavior.
Oh, sure.
And so
sure.
if the challenge
what a great premise.
The challenge is, thank you, is not to deny that you have a dark side, which is what it is. Don't deny it. Recognize it. Try to deal with it, and try to choose the light rather than the dark. And so that's what this is about.
Okay, so in here, does the shadow, is there verbiage on the written page that the shadow speaks?
The shadow actually, this man, his name is Jonathan Feldman, and in the book, his shadow materializes. He actually has conversations.
That's
back and
folks,
forth.
Amazon.com, right?
Right.
Teddy Bart.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll tell you what. This is a great guy. He's so talented, and he has allowed me to spend quite a bit of time with him over the last couple of years, and I can't tell you how much I respect and love this guy. He's a mentor to me, and something you need to make sure you do is you go get this book. But another thing you need to do is look at Teddy Bart's Talent Survival Guide. His blog is an absolute wonderful thing for anyone who has any creativity or wish for talent. You need to read Teddy Bart's Talent Survival Guide. It is an incredible week-to-week study on how creative people function.
Thank you. Appreciate
You're
that
just
very
the
much.
Best.
Thank you.
You know that?
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays. I wish your lovely bride Jana would come up on stage with us, but she won't. She's sitting right over there.
You know, we've been married for over 50 years. And the one thing that will scare her the most is having to come up on a stage or do something like that. She's been my love and my support for all these years. Books, blogs, radio, television, all these things I've done is because my wife has supported me and loved me and enabled me to do it. So she's been the wind beneath my wings, John.
Well, my friend, thank you for allowing us into both of your lives. And again, happy holidays.
Same to you.
Folks, we'll be right back after this message.
Jay Gregory invites you to spend part of your holiday season in Bell Buckle this year. The merchants at Southern Charm make gift buying easy, offering Jay Jordan's quality clothing and other designer fashions, pad rags, silly cow chocolate, shabby chic homemade distressed furniture, antiques, jellies, jams, and a gourmet food line from the world-famous Bell Buckle Cafe. And speaking of the Bell Buckle Cafe, make sure you stop by and enjoy some of Tennessee's best home-style cooking. If over some pork or a great dessert, you think of your upcoming event, go see Martha at the Bell Buckle Banquet and Recital Hall. Wedding, banquet, company party, business meeting, or just a group of friends getting together to have some fun. Martha can help you set a menu, decide on decorations, and ensure your event is successfully delivered in a big town way with small town charm. Jay Gregory has given you an invitation, so visit Southern Charm, the Bell Buckle Cafe, and the Bell Buckle Banquet Hall this holiday season. Visit Bell Buckle. Give yourself a gift.
All I have to do is think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do, you know.
Everyday miracles at Life Care Centers of America.
Welcome back to Just Plain Living. I'm Lauren Foster, bringing you more holiday cheer. Our producers have been working really hard to find all kinds of great things to show you. And we caught up with the Grinch in a program to benefit East Middle School. It's John Cook. He's so talented, and I know this is going to be really funny. Enjoy.
Mr. Grinch, you're as cuddly as a hero, you're as cuddly as a cactus, and charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black heel. Mr. Grinch, your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You got nothing in your soul, Mr. Grinch. I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. And that's a very long pole. Mr. Grinch, you're nasty skunk. Your soul is full as gunk, your heart is full of unwashed socks, Mr. Grinch. The three words that best describe you are as follows, and I quote, stink, stank, stunk. Your soul is an appalling dump heap overflowing with the most disgraceful assortment of deplorable rubbish imaginable. Mangled up, entangled up nuts. Yes, he's not the sailor. You nauseate me, Mr. Grinch, with your nauseous super-nos. You're crooked and jerky and shocking, and you drive a crooked horse, Mr. Grinch. You're a three-decker sauerkraut and toadstool sandwich with arsenic sauce. Don't worry, good people, this is the last one. You're a vile one, Mr. Grinch. You have termites in the sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch. Given the choice between the two of you, I think I'd rather take the seasick crocodile.
Hello, this is J.D. Oliver from the Smokehouse on Mount Eagle Mountain. Me and my sisters Nancy and Betsy would like to thank you all for your continued support. This year we're celebrating our 50-year anniversary at the Smokehouse. In conjunction with our 50-year celebration, we are bringing Music on the Mountain every Saturday night at 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. featuring the best of Nashville. We have had some wonderful singers, hit songwriters, and Nashville's rising stars have taken the stage. Come out this Saturday night and every Saturday night through the end of the year. Make it a date night or bring the whole family. Help us celebrate 50 years in the community. Music on the Mountain is free every Saturday night at Jim Oliver's Smokehouse.
Hey, this is Sean Mayer. I'd like to invite everybody out to the Smokehouse every Saturday night for great music and awesome food.
Thank you very much, y'all.
Some people think that pressing their on-demand button will cost money or make their house explode or something. Of course, neither of these things is true. On-demand is just a way to access thousands of free movies and TV shows. The code to blow up a house is actually channel up, channel down, 2*77.
On demand, thousands of free movies and TV shows on your schedule, and nothing bad.
Hello, I'm Benny Garrick, and this portion of the program is called Coffee County Memories and More. To my left is my co-host, Betty Superstein, the Manchester mayor. I almost moved you to Tullahoma. And on the far side over there is David Pennington, the county mayor. What are we going to talk about today, Dave?
Oh.
Is this your new ride?
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think.
Well, you know.
I think when we were little kids, if we had that under the tree, we'd have been happy.
Yeah. See, that's a '60s model pedal car, and it's, you know, probably around a $400 pedal car. But what I thought we'd talk about a little bit is pedal cars. You know, that was the thing for children, from the early 1900s, and now, you know, everything's battery powered. You know, I remember my granddaughter got a little scooter and it's battery powered.
David, I love this. It's on the hood. It's got a Coke bottle for the hood ornament.
Well, yeah, you remember cars used to have hood ornaments.
I was reading this little tag here, Dave. Does that have any significance?
What does it say? I hadn't read it.
It says,
oh, that's just a code. That's an inventory code.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got some pictures of some pedal cars, and we're going to show them. Now that right there. Let me get my little list.
Did you have a pedal car?
Huh?
Did you have a pedal car?
Yeah, you know, I did have one. And I think I was like most kids, tore them all to pieces. But that right there is a 1920 American National.
That
thing cost
cool.
about $9.95 in 1920, and that's a $6,000 pedal car now.
Wow!
Think about it. We've
been investing in the wrong thing.
Yeah. And then we're going to go to the next one. We got about 4 different. I tried to get us like a 1920s, 1930s. So when he'll go to the next one coming up, will be the 1930s. And it's going to be it's called, you know, a lot of pedal cars were named after the real cars, like Chryslers, Airflows, Buicks. You know, they are Oldsmobiles. All of them had pedal cars that kind of looked like them.
I had a little blue one, but I don't remember what it was.
Okay, see that one right there, and that's a 1937 Chrysler Airflow. And if you remember, in the 30s, they had that round look. And that car right there is about $3,000 now. They were a lot higher, but they've came down a little bit.
That's really a neat little car.
Yeah, now that's got pneumatic tires too.
Looks like an Italian sports car.
Yeah,
almost.
It does, don't it?
Those lines.
That's got pneumatic tires and working headlights. Now you
working headlights?
Yeah, so you imagine
how did it
battery
have batteries?
So can you imagine a child in 1937 waking up and getting a pedal car that's it's a lot larger than this pedal car here, that had pneumatic tires and working headlights? That's pretty cool. And the next one's going to come up is the 40s. Now that's a 1941, and they call this a Buick. And Steelcraft made this car. Look at the fender skirts on it. Look at how the fenders are. Yes. And the pedal cars kind of went with the cars of the times. You know, they look like them. And see, look at the headlights there on it, and the hood ornament. Look at that hood ornament on it. Look at that windshield.
It's got a nice grill too.
Yeah, and that's about $1,700, $1,800 pedal car.
Now, when you say about $1,800 pedal car, that's restored?
That's what they bring, yeah, restored. Mm-hmm.
David, what's this right here? That's
the gear shift, Betty.
That's the gear shift.
Yeah, when there's a pedal, I had to shift gears. And we got 2 more cars coming up. But that one right there is called a Cadillac. And so it's kind of a copy of a Cadillac. But that is the 50s, and it's made by Garton. And that's about a $2,000 car.
That is neat. Can you see that little girl?
Hallmark made.
These are all in mint condition.
Yes, Hallmark made some of the ornaments. You've seen them if you collect any Hallmark at all. They got all kind of little pedal cars. And this very last one that'll come up here is going to be a 60s. So you can kind of see how they've changed. Now there's a train. Remember Casey Jones?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a Garton also, and that's a 1960s. And that right there is about a $600 little pedal car. And of course this one here is called a T-Bird style. The way the front end looks on it, it looks like a 60s T-Bird.
I think that's what I had. I think it was a blue T-Bird.
Yeah, They took this and made fire cars out of them, and just all kind of different.
Now, these companies you mentioned that made these, are they still around?
I think Murray. Yeah, I don't know. Is Murray still around now? They were Murray Bicycle Company.
Yeah, as far as I know they are.
Yeah, I think most of them have gone by the wayside. Most of the pedal car makers. Like I said, they're all battery and plastic now. See, these are genuine metal car.
Yeah, I think that's why mine was so beat up.
What about on eBay? Can you, if you're missing like a wheel,
Oh, yeah.
can you usually
yes.
get on there and
Uh-huh.
find parts?
Yeah, matter of fact, you know, at one time I had over 200 pedal cars, and I met the Mike Messner, the CEO of Disney World. I decided I was going to get out of the higher dollar pedal cars because he was making reproductions, and I was scared it was going to hurt him. So I sold him a lot of my 20s and 30s pedal cars, and when he'd get them down in Disney, Disney World's where we'd ship them to, and when he'd get them, he'd say, "Hey, just like you said." And I sent him a lot of old cars, and somebody said that he probably had them displayed at Disney World. I don't know that to be true, but I sold him probably 20 cars.
Everything, doesn't it?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes,
but
sir.
pedal cars are still, you know, they're still, people collect them, and I guess they always will. And like you seen that high dollar pedal car there.
Yeah.
Highest dollar pedal car that ever sold was $73,000 for a pedal car.
What was it?
It was a 1920s, and it had a enclosed cab. You know, you actually opened the door and got in it and pedaled it.
Wow.
And some of the pedal cars even had where two people could pedal it, like a fire truck.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the fire trucks is pretty good size, and it would be a tandem where you could, both of you'd have to pedal it. But they were heavy. And of course, they did look like the cars of the time.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting, David. Appreciate you bringing this. And
well, it's just
we had some interesting shows this year. Hadn't
yeah. You know, Benny, to get back to this real quick, and we'll talk about them shows, but just think, some child probably got this for Christmas.
Oh, sure.
And you're right.
And was thrilled.
Yeah, you're right. We have had some interesting shows. Don't you, off the top of your head, name some
Well,
of them?
just a couple that come to mind when we got into the World War II pilots.
Oh,
and we went
yes.
down to, was it Flintville?
Yeah.
And to Ike Ferris.
Yeah.
What an interesting fellow.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
been on that farm, 5 generations
Yeah.
or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Went to UT, flew in World War II.
Gene Autry was his co-pilot.
Yes. And then we, one day we went over to Shelbyville everybody's heard of Bomer Field over there, the airport, Bob Bomer's house, and talked with him. Did 3 different segments. And
World War II pilot.
He was a World War II pilot.
That was so
Built
interesting.
The airport. Yeah, very interesting. You know.
And John Ross.
Yeah, P-38 pilot.
Yes.
Yes.
And well, recently we had George Jones and Tammy Wynette's daughter on here.
Yes, we sure did.
We had a good year.
Yeah, and we're going to do a show probably after the first year. We're going to go and we're going to change the show just a little bit, and we're going to actually do one on old Studebakers, hit and miss motors. And I tell you what, you get your blue jeans and your t-shirts on when we go to this one. Get you a little jacket because we're going to dig through some of the stuff. He's got several buildings full of stuff, and we're going
making us like pickers.
We'll be a lot better than them pickers. We're going to find the real good stuff.
Do they have so I will not expect to find crystal or.
Well, I don't know. You might, but I'd say more likely not.
Have to bring you a sandwich.
The good thing is you won't have to worry about snakes this time of year. Well, you might though. I don't know. Depending on the temperature.
Let's hope not.
Well, we're going to dig
that
through
will
some
be
stuff.
fun.
It's nice to reflect on what we did, and we had a good year, and we want everybody to have a Merry Christmas.
Yes, we
and now
sure
it's
do.
time for y'all to sing.
Well, I thought you was the singer.
Julia tells me we're out of time, so let's just wish everybody Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And we'll
Merry
see you next year.
Since 1985, Life Communications and Security has been a household word in Middle Tennessee, mainly because people trust and believe in Life Communications and Securities in the work they do. Led by owner Jeff Wooten, LCS has continued to grow and earn the support of their many customers. When we ask businesses and homeowners who they put their trust in, these are the answers we receive.
Tommy Anderton with Traders Bank. When it comes to security and communications, we call Life Communications.
For all of our security needs at First Vision Bank, we call Life Communications.
Life Communications is a small investment for us to take care of our major investment.
Knowing this, why would you ever call anyone else for your security or communications needs? Call Life Communications and Security at 931-455-9016 or 1-866-535-9016. That's Life Communications and Security.
I'm Marley Matlin for the American Red Cross. In an emergency, infants and children can't always tell you what's wrong. Being able to read critical signs and knowing how to respond can make all the difference. The Red Cross offers infant and child CPR training, where you can learn how to recognize and respond to respiratory and cardiac emergencies. Visit www.redcross.org or call 1-800-HELP-NOW. Together, we can save a life.
Waiting around for things other people get right away just doesn't make much sense. Get high-speed Charter internet and enjoy downloads way faster than DSL.
All right, welcome back, folks.
I'm John Gray.
You are not John Gray, for goodness sakes.
Hey, we had a great show today.
We did.
Some wonderful people on. Mm-hmm. And interesting things. I wanted that little car. I know. I can't believe how expensive they are.
It's hard to really get people to come on the show during the holidays too. So
no time to do. They're out buying
right.
things. I hope they're buying here in Tullahoma.
Right.
Huh? You know, there's a lot of good things to be buying in Tullahoma. Or giving a gift of go to your manicurist and give something like that, but do it in this community.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I wish I had a manicurist to give a gift to.
Isn't that a nice?
We need a manicurist.
And I think we may close tonight with some video we got from Lauren and some of her friends singing at a Christmas party.
You did.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That would be so bad. That would be good. You got to save that kind of stuff for April Fool's Day.
No, Lauren. I love that thing we did not too long ago where you were on this show in California.
Oh yeah, the singing
video. That was so cute. You did a great job.
She actually knows the word. Are we out of time for real?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, okay. She actually knows the words to a lot of songs.
I do. It's a thing.
It is a thing.
Are you one of those, what do you call these people that are idiot savants that can remember
useless things? Useless
things, yeah.
Lauren was singing Midnight Train to Georgia, and I used to know the backup parts to that. But I quit about midway through. I thought there's way too much pressure here trying to remember that. However, Lauren remembered the harmony parts to After the Loving, which I mean, that's way back there. I mean, I'm amazed.
What's his name that does that?
Engelbert.
Yeah.
It's fun to sing that song just so you can say Engelbert.
I think it's time for us to say goodbye.
Exactly.
Time to... South Jackson Street Band is going to be on?
That's right.
We were over at Christ Community Church with Jim Zidane. I think that's the footage.
Merry Christmas.
Good night and Merry Christmas.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost dipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by the choir. And folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows. Bye.